Okay, here they are. These are the Tentacle Sync E's, the timecode generators. They are Bluetooth. This is the packaging. If we can get the focus, there we go. We got some stuff on the back for those of you wondering. It does come with a handful of things that are rather useful from the looks of it. That's it, besides some more instructions there. So pretty standard, but I like the packaging. But you might be asking, Josh, why would we buy these to begin? Like, Timecode, really, what is it? All right, so inside these two little guys right here are really precise clocks, essentially is what they are. So Timecode, it adds precise timestamps to your video footage, so everything can sync up in post. This is really, honestly, the main reason why you get these to begin with is because it makes syncing multiple cameras really easily, especially whether you're turning them on and off or throughout a longer shoot. This keeps things precise. Waveforms are not precise. Timecode is. That's the whole point of this to begin with, okay? So you've probably already seen what timecode looks like on higher production sets. So you actually kind of see a lot of behind the scenes work. So just kind of so we're all on the same page, here's the example of 09, 45, 15, 04. Essentially 09 is the hour, 45 is the minutes, 15 is the seconds, and 04 is the frames. And yes, you do choose the frame rates. These allow you to choose 23.976 or 30 or whatever you're working with. So that's always ideal. And lastly, before we start to dig into this guy, let's go over the two different types of running modes. So the first one is what we call record run. So this is essentially when you hit start, or hit your shutter, you hit the record button on your camera, it starts from 00000000. And so it starts to run the moment you've hit record on all those things. The second version is what we called free run, and this is actually based on the time of day. So for example, if I showed a free run time of 08:25:00:06, then I actually would have filmed this at 8:25 a.m. And the timecode generators like know the location, they pick the proper time zone, those kind of things. And honestly, this is my preferred version, is free run, and I'll explain that kind of as we get into it. But without further ado, let's get into the actual unboxing timecode, because that's what you're here for. So let's open this puppy up. I'll be quiet so you can hear it. It's a crisp box. It's a crisp box. Okay, so we have a quick start guide here. Timecode input, switch on, get started, sync via Bluetooth. Yeah, all those things seem pretty standard. So that's nice. They give you a little card to understand what's going on. Put that over there. Oh, look at that. You got a little 2-year warranty. That's always awesome. Just start the information you need is on there. That's always great. Cool. We simply want to say thank you. Happy, absolutely. Questions? Well, I'm pretty stoked. Wow, look at these are the little guys. That's them right here. These two. Let's see if open this easy. This seems harder than it should be. There we go. Look. Oh, and here they come. And so that's it. They're pretty small. Little timecode sync guys. They got little Velcro on the back. USB-C charging, and aux to plug in there. So these are great. And I guess I'll give you kind of a size comparison. This is like a standard Hot Wheel car. So it's like just a bit smaller than a standard Hot Wheel car. But I mean, great, pretty easy. Okay, what else do we got in the box besides our two timecode units? I'm sure we've got lots of cables. Okay, we got a box. Let's open that box up. Ooh, we got lots of goodies in here. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got aux cable, cables to plug in, USB-C charging cables. That's always ideal. Little pamphlet, but who reads those? Tentacle Sync. We've got Velcro packages in here with rubber bands, so you can actually like swap the color to keep track of them better. The app also lets you do that, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And then some clips to, I believe, attach these to keep them hooked in, because you need, if this unplugs on set, you're hooped. So that's what we want to keep there. And they got this nice bag. It's a nice bag, and I think yeah, we've got a divider in the middle here, so you just can put them on either side. That's ideal. Like, that's pretty awesome. So put one in there, put these in here, you know, divvy up the cables, because we like to have good cable management. Zip that guy up. Look at this side, put him in there, opposite side, other cables. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. man, that's great. These are awesome bags. They feel really good too. I don't know if they're waterproof, and trust me, we're not going to test that, but they might be like water resistant or something. So overall packaging from Tentacle, 10 out of 10. I really enjoy this bag. This is great to be able to like just pop in the camera bag and go. So that is awesome. Great job, Tentacle. And overall packaging, like minimal, and that's kind of what I want. I don't need a ton of cardboard and stuff, but I think they did a great job of making it minimum, of keeping it short, small, to the point, because that's all you really need. Awesome. And let's put all this stuff back in there, because you know we like keeping everything pretty, putting everything back in the box, because honestly I keep all these boxes. I don't know who else does, but I generally feel like lots of us keep boxes here. Okay, so that's the unboxing for the Tentacle timecode generator. Okay, so I haven't been entirely truthful with you. I actually bought 2 sets of them because I had a gig and I actually have already used this set and I've already been playing with them and figuring out how they work. And so let's go back to the set and chat about them. All right, these are the little units, the timecode generators, the Tentacle Sync E's. What I love about them is actually how easy they are to use. So for example, I'll show you the app. So essentially you just have to hold this little button, this little trigger on here to turn on. You're gonna see it light up. It's lighting up red, which means it's currently not synced. We'll get 2 of them turned on right now. Perfect, you see those little red lights hopefully flashing. We can stop seeing me, perfect. We see that, awesome. Okay, so then we go to our lovely Tentacle Sync app right now. Bring that one up. And the great thing is you can actually already see that they're on, that they're unplugged, they need to be synced. And the greatest part is I just hit sync. It asks me for my frame rate. It even tells me the time. So all of you are gonna know when I am currently filming this at 10:30 at night. We're gonna hit start. It's connection Romeo, connection to Sly, syncing Sly, boom. And they're both jammed in. So what is jamming? Jamming is essentially how we force all the timecode units to sync up to the same exact time. Now, I have a Mix Pre 6 Mark II in here, which is also generating its own time. So I could jam all in together to make sure they're all syncing at the same time. I know it's telling me timecode cable unplugged, which again is a great warning, because if these aren't plugged into cameras, then that's a major problem. So it even tells you that. And so you knowing that I'm filming this in 10:30 or so at night is what we call free run. And so part of the reason why I love shooting in free run specifically is because that way when you're on a shoot, when you're on a set with a client, they can just check their watch and go, yes, at 3:30, I need this, or I want this added, or I want this changed. It's so much easier to find for your clients to be able to mark down notes for you when they can just check up on their own phone, their own watch, everything is perfectly synced, and that way you know, oh yeah, I gotta make changes, or I know there's a certain thing they want here at the 3:30 mark during the entire recording, and everything is on the exact same time zone, down to the second. It's so easy. It's like already set for you for Tentacle Sync and all this timecode stuff. So I'd recommend running that. And that way it's easy for your clients to take notes and easier for you in post-production, because that is the whole point of these things, is to make post-production a breeze. So these truly do shine when you're working with multiple cameras, because the best part about these things is if these are on and plugged into your camera, it doesn't matter if you turn off your camera, you stop and start recording, or any of those things, as long as these remain on and plugged in, everything stays synced over the entirety of your shoot, which I think is just outstanding. I can recommend these enough when it comes to multi-camera stuff, especially even working with audio. Like you can perfectly sync your camera and your audio recorder all together. Now, quick disclaimer, make sure your auto recorder either generates timecode or can work with it in some capacity. I don't want you to go out to buy this expensive gear if it doesn't work for you. So please do your research and check that out yourself. I believe these cost about $550. I'll make sure to put the actual cost on screen. And so I would go check these out, or check timecode out in general, because I think it is crucial for a wedding videographer or any sort of multi-camera team shoot. Because I actually went and shot a wedding this past summer for one of my best friends, Abby. I'll link that up somewhere for you to check out, because I thought that video was awesome, very smashing indeed. And she asked us to film her speeches, which totally fine, totally doable. I actually had a team of shooters with me there that day, so I had one guy on camera on the bride and groom, and then one camera on the actual speaker, and then one camera roaming around. And oh man, I so desperately wish I would have purchased these for that gig, because I promise you, it probably took me like 3 to 4 hours to manually by hand sync all the clips together, and it was like a painful experience, okay? With the different, distances from the mic and the ambience in the room, trying to sync via waveform just doesn't cut it. It really, really doesn't. It's not reliable, and I know many of us use it to start, and that's totally fine, but when it comes to big shoots like that, where you have lots of multiple cameras, I can't recommend Timecode more, because I kid you not, that 3 to 4 hours I spent would be like 5 clicks and a minute later and everything would have been synced and I could start working on it. And really, part of the reason why I recommend this Timecode stuff so much is because it saves us time in post. We already spent enough time in post as it is, so might as well make it easier on ourselves by auto-syncing everything cleanly and precisely, which is just so incredibly important. So I will do a formal review of these little Tentacle Timecode Sync E's in a month from now. I have a big gig coming up where I'm gonna really push them to the limits, film for about 8 hours. I've only pushed them for like 2 or 3 hours recently, so I will let you know all about them then. And a big shout out to my friend Spencer, who 3D printed me little holders for them, and they have a little cold shoe mount so they can, kind of go onto any camera I need them to. Really big thanks to him for having a 3D printer and getting these printed for me. Yeah, I think a big goal for me is to make sure that I recommend gear that I think is good, that I generally enjoy and find useful and good for my workflow. To be honest with you, brand to me isn't as important now when it comes to cameras, maybe, but when it comes to lights or Timecode or anything like that, please do your research. There's like Deity is another brand. Tentacle is obviously the one I have. There's other people out there, other brands out there. Check and see what works best for you and what works within your budget. But I think these are awesome and totally worth getting. If you want to see my workflow for the whole Timecode stuff in DaVinci Resolve, comment down below and I'll make a video about it because there are a couple tips and tricks that I wish I would have known when I started and would have saved me a little bit of time. There's just like a couple extra things that if you don't know, it doesn't sync very well. So anyways, I can show you that in the next video. I appreciate you all checking out for this one. Please do your research on Timecode and check it out. Please, it'll save you so much time in post-production, and I think that's important for all of us. Cool, okay, I'm done. We're gonna call it there. I appreciate you all, love you all. No tea this time because I was busy, and it's 10:30 at night like you already know. So, okay, awesome, appreciate you. See you in the next one.